Eurozone bond yields rise as traders wonder whether a potential German defence fund could become a reality. Well, that's not the only thing weighing on the markets. Overnight, we had remarks from President Trump suggesting that tariffs on Canada and Mexico will go ahead from next week. Well, Mabrouk Chetouane is head of global market strategy at Natixis Investment Managers. Mabrouk, European defence and aerospace shares rose following reports that Germany's Chancellor-in-Waiting, Friedrich Merz, has opened talks to quickly approve up to €200 billion in defence spending. But the question the bond markets really want to know is, how's that going to be paid for?
So clearly, the new chancellor, the in-waiting chancellor, has announced likely €200 billion funds dedicated specifically on defense topics. But the question mark is that there are first, there are some restrictions to decide and to vote. These defense program, and the new government has to make it very quickly because they have to make this decision, this plan happening before the 24th of March. So this is my first question, and clearly we cannot rule out the French parties can block. These program, and this is something that we clearly take into account in your asset allocation decision. Because if this plan is not decided and not voted and not implemented, this could be extremely tricky for the European defense per se.
But isn't this a good time for governments, especially in Europe, to be borrowing? The ECB looks set to cut rates multiple times this year, so surely this is the time to take advantage of that.
Yes, definitely, because we do expect the ECB to continue to lower their interest rate, and clearly this is the right moment for European countries to decide to agree on a common strategy and to spend more. We all know that, without these fiscal stimulus, it will be extremely complicated for European countries to address all the challenges that the US administration is imposing to us, and to address also all the challenges that the European countries are facing too: digitalization, climate change, and so on and so forth. So using the fiscal policy is absolutely vital for Europe in order to protect their interests.
But it also could be a good thing for Europe because, Europe is struggling for growth at the moment. So surely this will help too.
Yeah, definitely. Using the fiscal policy is always a good news. From a growth perspective, growth is, when you look at the momentum is positive in Europe, but still muted because we only expect 1% growth in Europe for this year after 0.8% last year. So, this level of growth is not enough, to boost the European growth and European economies. So we need, additional support like the fiscal policy, and definitely using the defense as an excuse, but this is a concrete excuse to use the fiscal policy is, I think, a new, let's say, a way to envisage the fiscal policy in the future.
Well, let's turn to the US now, Mabrouk. And President Trump was once again talking tough on tariffs, and we saw the dollar steady. But are we heading for a global trade war?
Well, clearly for us, it's absolutely clear that tariffs are the favorite instrument of Donald Trump in order to maintain a constant pressure on Mexico and on Canada in order to continue the negotiations. We have seen 1 month ago when Donald Trump has said, okay, I'm going to put 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada, and immediately said, okay, we are going to stop these tariffs process in order to start a negotiation. I will be extremely surprised, if the US is deciding immediately to put these 25% tariffs on these key trading partners of the US economy. We have to remind that the first, victims of these tariffs will be the US corporates within the United States, and not, the foreign corporates in Mexico and in Canada. So I think the strategy is for us absolutely clear. Trump is using tariffs against Mexico and Canada, using the immigration excuse and policy against Latin American and South American countries, and the defense topic against Europe in order to negotiate and make, as he used to say, good deals.
That was Mabrouk Chetouane from Natixis Investment Managers. And don't forget, you can get more videos on Reuters.com.